If anxiety comes back after you thought you healed, this episode is for you. Welcome back to the Broken to Brave podcast. Dr. Steph here, and I want to get started with a moment that I know so many of you have lived. You're doing okay, maybe even good, and then something happens. Maybe even something that in hindsight you recognize is small. Could be a tone, a thought, a body sensation, a moment of pressure, and suddenly your chest tightens, your heart drops, and your mind races, and you are anticipating the worst yet again. Oftentimes, the thought that hits the hardest isn't even the anxiety. It's the thought, I thought I figured this out. Why is this happening again? And you believing that. And oftentimes, it is followed by does this mean I'm back to square one? Does this mean nothing changed? Can you relate to that? This can be one of the most frustrating experiences for anxious, high-functioning women, and I get it. You've learned the tools, you've had the insights, you've connected the dots, and you've had moments where you're thinking, okay, things feel clear, like I'm getting this. You've had those and felt like it's finally sticking. And then stress hits. We've all been there, and a trigger shows up, and then you're right back into overthinking, anticipating, spiraling, shutting down, all of the things. And then so often shame creeps in. Why didn't that work? What's wrong with me? All those questions. Why can't I just stay calm like other people? It's not a skill issue, and it's not a you issue. It is likely not even you failing to apply what you know. It's your brain doing exactly what it's trained to do. Your brain is designed for predictability, not for peace, unfortunately. To your brain, familiar equals safe. Even if familiar is stressful, even when familiar is exhausting, even when familiar is anxiety. I want you in your mind's eye right now just to imagine train tracks for a moment. Over time, your brain laid down tracks based on what helped you survive in the past. That might have been overthinking, tensing up, controlling, preparing for the worst, people-pleasing, all the things. So those tracks, they are deep, they're well worn, and they have been used thousands and thousands of times. So when stress hits, the train doesn't just pause and say oh, is there a better place for me to go? Is there a better route? Is there a healthier route? No, it just goes back to the track that it knows. And that's why spirals can feel so fast and why panic can feel automatic. It's also why knowing better doesn't stop the train. Yelling at the train, of course, we know doesn't stop. Shaming yourself doesn't stop the train. It's going back to the old tracks, and change happens when you build new tracks and then practice using them. Awareness doesn't build new tracks. Motivation doesn't either. Understanding doesn't build the new tracks. Repetition does. And here's the part that most people miss, almost everyone that I talk to. Repetition works when your nervous system is regulated enough to allow learning. For most people, they are in protection mode. And that's why the tools, they disappear and they don't work, because it's not that you did it wrong, but that you're starting in the wrong spot. So if you're resonating with this, your nervous system probably wasn't safe enough to install the change and create the new tracks. And that's what I call rewire. And it is teaching your brain a first new response, not forcing positive thinking, not overriding fear, not trying to stay calm at all costs, but creating that new pathway. And that's why we never start with mindset work, always with the body first, regulating the nervous system so that the brain can learn and build the new tracks. I want to leave you with a couple questions. When a trigger shows up, what is your automatic response? And when was the first time that you learned that response? Get curious. Notice. Awareness is the beginning of change. Now, inside of day 2 of the Anxiety Relief Experience workshop, we're going to go through exactly how these patterns form and how to begin building new tracks without forcing change and definitely without shaming yourself. So if you are tired of feeling like you should be past this and you are ready to stop blaming yourself for a nervous system response, I want to see you there. Go ahead and send me a DM on Instagram or on Facebook with the word workshop, or just click the links in the show notes to register today. We start in less than 1 week.